As you can tell, we currently have a 10 gig connection from a Mac Studio over to a Ugreen Nas using Ubiquiti Aggregate. As you can tell, we're going to run a speed test here, and we're getting close to 10 gigs. Obviously, the limitation currently is my Mac Studio, since the Ugreen Nas is currently connected through two dual 10 gig network cards on the Ubiquiti switch. As you can tell here, the download seems to be about 9.7. The upload is a little slower for some strange reason. That could just be due to the cache and RAID setup that I currently have on the actual unit itself. As you can see, I'm getting about 9.7 down and 6.1 up, which isn't too bad, as you can tell. Next, I'm going to go to fast.com and test the internet speed. Just so you know, I currently have Spectrum, and we're getting about 1.2, 1.1 to 1.4-ish, give or take, downloading straight. As you can tell, everything is hardwired, and this is currently our download speed. Obviously, the upload speed, due to it being coax, is obviously limited to around 30 to 40 megabits per second, as you can tell. I will show you in a bit another speed test. This is from fast.com. The next one will end up being from speedtest.net. Currently here in Los Angeles, California, there's going to be a data center by the name of Shark Tech who actually has pretty good throughput, as you can tell. That's going to be coming up right next. So next I'm going to go over to speedtest.net. I'm going to do the test here. And as you can tell, getting pretty good speeds on this hardwired Ubiquiti aggregate switch and the Mac Studio running a 10 gig connection. The speeds seem to be pretty within, pretty close to the range of a little bit over a gig, as you can tell. And like I said, currently it's using Spectrum, actually, not Shark Tech. When I was doing the test, my apologies for that. Normally I use a Shark Tech because I know that's a data center that has really good throughput. As you can tell, I'm running the open speed test on my Ugreen Nas. And here's some information just so you guys can see what I'm running here on the Ugreen Nas. It's a Intel 12-core i5 with a 64 gigs of RAM. And as you can tell, I'm aggregating the network here. Unfortunately, I'm not able to set the MTU to 9000 jumbo, unfortunately, but I do with what I have. As you can tell, here is my Ubiquiti setup currently that I have. I have a variety of devices connected, as you can tell. Currently here, you can see I have the cable modem, a couple cameras, the switches, aggregate, and so forth, as you can tell here. Here in the playroom, I have one of the 2.5 gigs that they have. I have two aggregates, the top and the bottom. It was a cheaper way of me doing that instead of trying to buy the actual switch itself, and I basically had a bunch of SFP ports. Some are fiber, some are copper here, as you can tell. I basically aggregated them, which is how I'm able to do the 20 gigs backbone on most of my devices. And that's how I pretty much have everything interlinked. I have the top aggregate, the bottom aggregate. I'm using some DAC cables to connect one to the other. And obviously I have here in this case, I have a UDM SC here currently connected, as you can tell based off of the list that you saw before. I have a couple of enterprise switches here for my cameras and setup. I haven't done the VLAN part of it yet. I know that'll be one of the things I'm working on next. Since I have a little over 8 cameras, you can tell I had to get another one to basically do the 2.4 gig on the AC Pro Max 7. So as you can tell, that's the type of bandwidth that I'm getting off of those. I currently have two internet. I have the T-Mobile home internet as a backup and the Spectrum, as you can tell here. These are currently my SSID channels and the available peaks that I have on there. Like I said, there's two VLANs that I currently have, one for my lights, basically my IoT network, and so forth. And like I said, here is going to be the dual internet connections that I currently have set up here. Like I said, one Spectrum, one is T-Mobile. Luckily, one's a 2.5 and the other one's a 10 gig, but obviously the T-Mobile one's not really 10 gig, but that's the type of port that it has. As you can see all the devices that are connected. I'm going to go ahead and reboot this one shortly. These are the settings that I currently have set up. This way you can connect to the one in the front at the current moment. Here's the living room. You can see I get pretty good bandwidth on that one. That's a 2.5 gig that is currently connected to. These are all the other devices that I currently have on there. Later on in another video, I'll show you some speed tests that I'm getting off of that 2.5/10 gig backbone that I currently have internally on the network. Obviously, not the internet connection, but on the back end of it. I'll be showing you that, guys, in a different video shortly. But this is currently my setup that I have. Here's my office where my Mac Pro is connected. That I aggregated to the aggregate switch so I can get a faster throughput, because I also have another NAS here, and once in a while I basically aggregate my Mac Pro with a Thunderbolt 4 device on there, so this I can get 20 gigs when I'm doing some video editing and so forth, and I'm saving it to my Ugreen Nas. I also have a Zima NAS as well. Like I said, here's the cable spectrum internet modem that I currently have that I use. And as you can tell, it's currently red, one of the APs, because I just rebooted the AP. And that should be coming up shortly. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see any other content. Thank you so much and have a great one.